Welcome to the audio version of our newest report. We hope you enjoy it. Key takeaways. The threat actor first gained entry by exploiting a known vulnerability, CVE 2023-22527, on an internet-facing Confluence server, allowing for remote code execution. Using this access, the threat actor executed a consistent sequence of commands, installing AnyDesk, adding admin users, and enabling RDP multiple times, suggesting the use of automation scripts or a playbook. Tools like Mimikatz, Process Hacker, and ELPACO secrets dump were used to harvest credentials. The intrusion culminated in the deployment of ELPACO-team ransomware, a mimic variant, approximately 62 hours after the initial Confluence exploitation. While ransomware was deployed and some event logs were deleted, no significant exfiltration of data was observed during the intrusion. This case was featured in our December 2024 DFIR Labs CTF and is available as a lab today here. It was originally published as a threat brief to customers in October 2024. The DFIR Report Services. Private threat briefs, 20+ private DFIR reports annually. Threat feed focuses on tracking command and control frameworks like Cobalt Strike, Metasploit, Sliver, etc. All Intel includes everything from private threat briefs and threat feed, plus private events, threat actor insights reports, long-term tracking, data clustering, and other curated intel. Private Sigma rule set features 170+. Sigma rules derive from 50+ cases, mapped to ATT and CK with test examples. DFIR Labs offers cloud-based hands-on learning experiences using real data from real intrusions. Interactive labs are available with different difficulty levels and can be accessed on demand, accommodating various learning speeds. Contact us today for pricing or a demo. Case summary. In late June 2024, an unpatched Confluence server was compromised via CVE 2023-22527, a template injection vulnerability, first from IP address 45.227.254.124, which just ran Who Am I and exited. Shortly thereafter, a different IP address used the same exploit, running curl to deploy a Metasploit payload, meter-preter, and establish a C2 channel to 91.1.91.21.46. The same IP address that delivered the initial Confluence exploit, used to run Who Am I, was later used to establish a direct AnyDesk connection. On the second day of the intrusion, the threat actor initiated multiple AnyDesk sessions, each lasting only a few seconds to just under 2 minutes. No commands were executed, and no meaningful activity occurred during these brief connections. It remains unclear whether these short sessions were the result of technical issues with their AnyDesk server or a deliberate tactic. On the fourth day, the threat actor started by focusing on privilege escalation. The threat actor first performed several unsuccessful attempts using various name pipe impersonation and token duplication techniques. They then successfully escalated to system using the RPCSS variant of named pipe impersonation. This allowed the creation of a local administrator account, no name, and the reinstallation of AnyDesk as a service delivered via the Metasploit C2 for persistent remote access. Having established an alternative means of network access, which then became their primary vector for the remainder of the intrusion, the threat actor pivoted to widespread discovery. This involved scanning the network and enumerating SMB shares using SoftPerfect's NetScan to identify potential targets for lateral movement. After identifying the domain controllers, the threat actor executed an unsuccessful series of attempts to exploit ZeroLogon, CVE 2020-1472, against them. The threat actor then dropped tools focused on credential access, including Mimikatz, Process Hacker, and ELPACO secrets dump. Minutes after utilizing these tools, the threat actor managed to compromise a domain administrator account, granting them widespread access and control within the target environment. That domain admin account was likely compromised through LSASS dumping, as evidenced by later use of NTLM hashes during lateral movement. The threat actor was also observed attempting to exploit Print Nightmare, CVE 2021-34527, using rpcdump.exe. This failed due to not meeting requirements, which we detail in this report. Leveraging the compromised domain administrator credentials, The threat actor initiated lateral movement within the network, utilizing ELPACO WMI exec and RDP to access additional systems. The threat actor also created a new SMB share on the initially compromised Confluence server to facilitate the next steps of the intrusion. This share contained a number of tools used for lateral movement and subsequent ransomware deployment. The final stage of the intrusion involved the deployment of ransomware. Approximately 62 hours after the initial compromise of the Confluence server, the threat actor deployed ELPACO-team.exe, identified as a variant of Mimic ransomware, onto multiple servers, including backup and file servers by RDPing into them and executing the exe locally after copying it over SMB. While some data transfer was observed via the AnyDesk traffic, there was no evidence of collection or widespread data exfiltration prior to ransomware deployment. The next section of the report is not attainable in an audio format. Therefore, we recommend visiting the site on a computer when you have time. A link to the full report is in the description. Thank you for listening.